So I bought this clock in an estate sale. We'll look at the whole thing in a few minutes or in a little while. But what we're going to do here is we are going to attempt, before I have this clock completely restored, I got a friend up in Philadelphia, his name's Tom. I call him Clock Guy Tom. That's a professional clock repair guy. And I'm getting ready to send him several clocks to completely restore. And that's one of them right there. I actually took that clock to another guy, another restorer, and he didn't restore it, but he charged me. So I was talking to Tom and he said, why don't you go ahead and clean the clock first? He said, go ahead and clean it and I'll send you my recipe of what I use when I clean a clock. He said it's not going to hurt, so just go ahead and clean it. So I thought maybe I'd take you through the process. I've never done this before, and you might be the same guy that's never done it before. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to take this clock apart, and I am going to go ahead and clean the clock like Tom, Clock Guy Tom, instructs, and we're going to see if it actually works. If it doesn't, then I'll be sending him this mechanism to have him completely go through it and restore it as well. So I'm thinking that this clock is a Johann. That's a famous brand from Europe. And I'm thinking that this is a Johann. Most Johann clocks don't have a name on the face, and the name is normally on the back. And if we take a look at the back, you can see how grimy and dirty this thing really is. Let me get this. Look at how filthy, just scummy, filthy, dirty, just full of soot. And I mean, look at this right here. Look at that. Just full of soot and slime. Now, when I bought this clock, I tested it out and it worked for about, I don't know, 1 or 2 minutes. And the dinger did work on it. So I'm thinking that this clock might only need a good cleaning, and that's basically it. So we're going to go ahead and attempt to take the mechanism, the works, we're going to go ahead and take those off of the clock, and then we are going to literally dip them in a chemical solution that our buddy Tom gave us the recipe for, and I'll give you the recipe as well. So to start out, we need to get the hands off. Now, you can see that I have moved this to 1 o'clock. The reason I did that is because that way when I put it back together, I know exactly where it goes. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling this apart to see if we can actually get it apart. There's a little washer on here, and there's also a lot of dirt. We want to be very careful taking all this apart. Okay, here it comes. There. All right. Wow. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to grab it like this, and then on the bottom you can see where it screws on right here, and we're going to go ahead and remove those. And those actually adjust, so we're going to have to really pay attention to that when we put it back together. And you can see just how filthy scummy it is just by looking at it. Tom did say that the springs, and you can see the spring right there, those have got to be thoroughly 100% dry, because those are actually metal and they will rust. So, yeah. So the ingredients that Clock Guy Tom told me to get is some Murphy's oil, wood cleaner Murphy's oil, some pine sol, and he specifically said to make sure that you get pine sol brand, not the aftermarket stuff, because the only thing that really does a cleaning action is the pine sol brand itself. And then 1 gallon of all-purpose ammonia. And I will tell you, just to throw this in, ammonia has really got up in price. I remember when this was like 55 cents for a gallon. Now it's like $2.89 for a half a gallon. So we're going to go ahead and mix all our stuff together. All right, I decided to come into the bathroom to do this in our utility sink. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 gallon, and I'm going to pour that in there. And this is a half a gallon. And I do have rubber gloves over there, so when I start cleaning, I'll be wearing my rubber gloves. But we're going to take 1 gallon of ammonia. Woo! And that smell will get to you, so watch out. Now, I know you're not supposed to mix ammonia and Clorox together. Believe it or not, I did that when I was a kid, and I found out the hard way. So we're going to go ahead and add 1 pint. Now you can go ahead and add a little more, but at least 1 pint of pine sol. I'm going to say that's about a pint right there, just for good measure. And then the Murphy soap oil, which is right here, approximately a pint of that. I'm going to say a little more. Let's see, how much is this here? This is, yeah, it's oil soap. So it's 1 quart. So half of that would be a pint. Okay. All right. So there's 2 pints to a quart. Now how much is in this, just to be on the safe side? This is 28 fluid ounces, so it's almost a half. All right. And then it's starting to get a good aroma in here, and I can smell that it's actually working. The smell is almost overpowering, but not too much. We're going to go ahead and mix this up. And it smells like a super heavy duty cleaner is what it smells like. Okay, so I'm going to be very careful to submerge that into our liquid. And I notice we have just enough liquid to submerge it in. And we're just going to leave that right there. And then what we'll do, there we go. Then what we'll do is we'll come back in approximately 45 minutes to an hour and see what we got. Okay, it's been in there approximately 15 minutes, and what I've been doing about every 5 minutes, I've been actually agitating the cleaner. And if you look in there, you can see the cleaner is actually turning to a dark green, which is telling me that it's actually working. I'm trying to keep it submerged, the whole thing. And as I'm agitating it, I'm going around it and trying to push the cleaner inside where all the gears and everything are. Okay, we'll let it sit for another 15 minutes or 30 minutes, see what happens. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn my water on because I want to get that water, that warm water going. And we're going to get this thing out of here, do a little cleaning with it with an old toothbrush and some cotton swabs. And then what I'm going to do is make sure you got your rubber gloves on. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of here. And oh my gosh, look at this. I don't even think we need. This is amazing. This is actually I'm shocked. I cannot believe what I'm looking at here. It looks brand new. I don't even think, wow. Are you looking at what I'm looking at here? This is amazing. This is totally, even the little, everything. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Huh. That is, I'm shocked. I'm dead serious here, guys. I'm not acting. I am literally shocked at what I'm looking at. So I'm going to turn my water on. I've already got it warmed up. And I was also told that it's a good idea to use soft, hopefully you'll have soft water. Wow, I can't believe this. This thing looks brand new. I'm really shocked over this. Really am. Can everybody see what's going on here? Can you see this? Are you looking at this? The clock is actually working while we are sitting here looking at the clock, getting ready to dry it off. That is amazing. Look at it. And it just wants to keep on going. So I'm still really shocked. And I'm going to try to stick that right there. We go. Okay. So we're going to leave that right there. And hopefully our clock will quit running if we put that there. There we go. Okay. So what I was going to say is before we use any heat on it, what I want to do is I'm going to use some air now. I have an air compressor. I got the air compressor. It's down to 20 psi. And all I'm going to do is lightly blow this off. So we want to make sure that we don't break this. This is the most important part. And Tom also said that it's very important, and I think I already said this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it again, that you get the springs thoroughly dry. And I think we almost got it dry. If you notice, I'm still wearing my gloves because I don't want the oil and the acid from my fingers to ruin the surface. So we're going to go ahead and turn our heat gun on. Once again, if you don't have a heat gun, use a hair dryer. And a heat gun will get a lot hotter than a hair dryer, so you got to move it around and keep moving it. And I think the only thing we need to do now is do a good oiling on it. And this clock works is back to original. Okay, now that the clock is completely dry, we're going to go ahead and tip it over and show you the other side. I don't want to drop this thing. So everything is clean and ready to oil. That's what we need to do next. We need to oil this thing up and make sure that this is lubed properly for a good long working order clock that we're trying to get. And then we get to this kit right here. This is a high-end kit, and this kit costs $25 plus shipping. They didn't ship this one for free. And this is from a company called Horace Whitlock's Premium Quality Synthetic Oil. And you can kind of see what comes in this kit. I'm going to go ahead and take it out. You get this little package right here for 25 bucks. These are your oilers, and each one of these tips is a different micrometer bigger, I believe. I don't know. They actually look the same, exactly the same to me. I guess they just give you different multicolored oiler handles. So you get the oiler pack, and then they give you a business card, and they give you a lint-free rag, and then you get the famous Horace Whitlock Premium Oil. You get 1 fluid ounce of that, which will last you a lifetime. You get a little, and this thing's actually pretty heavy. This is plastic, made of plastic. I thought I was going to say it was made of ceramic. You get a 3-in-1 oiling cup. Let's go ahead and open that up. And like I said, I bought these several years, about a year and a half ago. Okay, so the lid comes off. And then I guess once you have some oil, and it's got different sections in there for oil, so that would be nice to have. And then this is another thing I liked about this kit. You get this grease with it, this lithium grease, synthetic grease, and I'm going to show you what that's for. And they also give you this 10 times eyeglass, so you can literally use that to look. All right, you can see that right there. So you can literally use this eyepiece to look at your movements to make sure that they're oiled. And then they give you a cleaning stick, and this cleaning stick is used, we don't have to use it on ours because we dipped our whole component. But what this would be used for is to pick out where all of the oiling locations are on your clock. This is made to clean, let me put my hand right here. This is made to clean around all of the bushings and all of the shafts that need to be oiled to get all of the grime and grease and slime out of it. So the Horace kit is probably the best kit that you're going to buy for your money, 25 bucks. Now, if you just want to get something to do a quick oil job and to get down the road, I think this was 10 or 12 bucks. You can get that free shipping, and that's Liberty Oil. So we're not going to use the Liberty. We're going to use the Horace Whitlock kit to oil our clock and to do a professional job. Tom said that it's a very good idea to oil the spring after a good cleaning, because what happens if it gets rusty and rotted, it will stick together and it won't work. So that's all we're going to do. And once we get that done, we're getting ready to put this thing back together. Okay, we got our clock back together. Let's go ahead and put it in the case and see what happens. So let's go ahead and slide it in. And I can already hear it ticking. The main thing is, though, is that we need to check to make sure the donger is going to work. Okay, it looks like everything is okay. We're going to go ahead and set, we can find it. That thing's ticking away like a heartbeat. Listen to that. There we go. Okay, let's see what happens. Here we go. We just cleaned this clock. It's been sitting for like 40 years, 35 years in a basement. I bought it over at an estate sale. I paid like 55, 60 bucks for it. The case was completely filthy. It was inside out, disgusting, filthy. You saw the clock. We cleaned the clock. Let's see what happens. I think it's working good. The only thing wrong with this clock now is the dinger ain't right. So it's over here. And then of course, but other than that, I think we got us a good deal. It looks like this clock's going to work great. We're going to, hopefully, it's going to work for us for a while. We took a pile of junk, dirty, filthy, scummy trash, and turned it into a working machine. I hope everybody liked this long and extensive video on how to clean your clock. And everything worked out for us. I love it. And speaking of clocks, here's another one of my clocks. Now, I actually have this one restored. When I say restored, it was completely taken apart. And, yeah, we can't see in there. Completely taken apart and completely rebuilt. All brand new bushings, all brand new everything. And, yeah, beautiful clock. This one here was actually made for a dentist office in Europe. And then somebody had it imported over here. This is a Johann clock, which I believe that's a Johann as well. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please comment below. Subscribe to this channel, show your support, and happy clocking to everybody out there.